So I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. My name is Patty Schramm. I'm the Parent Resource Trainer Coordinator for the SALT Talks. Tonight, this is the SALT Teens and Me. This is the final session for this season. And during SALT Teens and Me, we like to cover a short topic and something maybe your child or student could sit in with you on. So tonight we have Kathy Kleiser with Greene County Board of Developmental Disabilities. She is joining us and going to talk about, when do you call 911? What is an emergency? When to call 911? And now there's a new one out there, and I think she's going to touch on it about 988. So I'm going to turn it over to Kathy, and I think everybody can see the screen that's up, and I'll let you take it from here, Kathy.
Okay. Hi. I did do this with a group of students today. So we're just going to talk about 911. We're going to watch some short videos. The first one's going to be about calling 911, reasons why you do. The next one is going to be a video that walks through what to expect if you call 911 and actually goes through somebody calling 911, and it's a really great video so that you kind of know what it would be like if you ever have to call 911. And then I'll also touch a little bit on 988, which is a relatively new number for mental health type emergencies or support, which is what that is. So we'll go ahead and get started. There will be a Kahoot after this if y'all would like to do it on just when not to call 911 and a review of what we've done. But we won't do the Kahoot yet. Once I'm at that point, you can pull it up on your phone if you want on Kahoot.it. But I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to do live. Okay.
Most people know they should dial.
Okay, is everybody hearing that? Okay, good.
911 to report a crime in progress, a fire, a car crash, especially if someone is hurt. But do you know which medical emergencies require immediate attention provided by dialing 911? If you or someone else is experiencing any of the following, dial 911 immediately. Severe difficulty breathing and/or severe allergic reaction. Chest pain and/or a fast heartbeat while at rest. Difficulty speaking, numbness or weakness of any part of the body. Sudden dizziness, weakness or mental changes, and/or sudden blindness or vision changes. Broken bones visible through an open wound or a broken leg. New severe headache or other sudden intense severe pain. You witness someone faint or pass out, or someone is unresponsive. Heavy bleeding from your mouth, nose, or private areas. Bleeding from any wound that won't stop with direct pressure. Drowning or choking. Severe burns or someone who's extremely hot or cold to the touch. Poisoning or drug overdose, and/or someone is threatening to hurt or kill themselves or others. Is the condition life or limb threatening? Could the condition worsen quickly on the way to the hospital? If you move the victim, will it cause further injury? If the answer is yes to any of these, dial 911 immediately. Guidelines presented in this announcement are from the American College of Emergency Physicians.
Okay, so that's the first one. Go ahead and escape this. Okay, so those are just some reasons of why to call 911. Now we're going to go through a video about what happens when you call 911.
Emergencies can happen when we least expect them to. A seemingly average morning could turn into a chaotic emergency situation without warning.
Regardless of the emergency type, we all need to be prepared to deal with emergency situations. Whenever, wherever, and to whomever the emergency happens, being prepared is key to a successful ending to a chaotic beginning. Heart attack, electric shock, choking, traumatic injury. These are just a few emergencies that can happen in a moment's notice. We can't live life in fear of these things happening. We just need to be better prepared to deal with an emergency when and if it happens.
Oh my God.
Gosh, are you okay?
What happened?
I don't know. The car they just came and hit him. I don't know what to do.
Okay, you're at the scene of a vehicle accident involving a car and a bicyclist. You're in the middle of an emergency situation. What do you do next? The number one thing to remember is don't panic. Remain calm. Take a deep breath. Panicking will only make the situation more chaotic and difficult to deal with. Don't leave. There is nothing to be scared of, and people need your help. You will be okay. Now, make sure you are safe and call 911 for help.
Paramedic emergency, what's the address of the emergency?
Oh my God, there's been an accident.
Okay, what's the location of the emergency?
I don't know, Basona Park?
Basona Park, County Park by Blossom Hill Road?
Yes, I think so. Oh my God.
Okay, I need you to take a deep breath. I'm going to help you help him, okay? I have help already on the way.
Now you're talking to a 911 dispatcher. It's important to follow these points when speaking to 911 emergency services. Stay calm, speak clearly, answer each question patiently and completely. Identify the location as best you can. And please understand that there's a reason for every question the dispatcher is asking you, so listen.
Okay, we're going to get some help started for you. I'd like you to stay on the line with me.
Okay, please help. I don't know what to do.
I'm going to ask you some questions to see if we can help while we're on the way. Can you tell me the phone number that you're calling from?
408-555-1122.
Okay, now you are working together with the dispatcher to help them relay critical injury information to the emergency teams that are on their way. Even though the patient could be badly hurt, it is extremely important that you remain calm. Any panic in your body language or voice will trigger panic in the patient. Remember, you are helping dispatch control the scene. Your primary responsibility is communicating with dispatch.
And is there any serious bleeding?
He's got bleeding from his ear and from his right leg.
Is the bleeding serious?
I don't know.
Is it spurting or is it trickling?
No, it's trickling.
My partner is going to get some help started. I want you to stay on the line and I'll tell you exactly what to do next.
Okay.
I'm going to stay on the line here with you until help arrives.
Okay, please hurry.
I want you to tell me when the fire department arrives with you and they're right beside him, or if anything changes, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You see, when prepared and with the assistance from a professional dispatcher, we can overcome a lot of anxiety and really help in an emergency situation. So far, Nicole has called 911, stayed calm and listened, communicated clearly and answered questions, identified the location, reported the injuries, assisted in administering first aid, stayed on the phone, agreed to meet first responders at the scene, and was brave and didn't panic. She has done a great job so far. If possible, have someone meet them at the street to direct them where to go. And then you will be released, but asked to stay to answer questions. This is routine, so please stay.
The fire department are first responders and will be making sure the scene is safe and secure. Firefighters are also trained EMTs and paramedics and may give medical assistance to the involved patients. Stay calm, be available to help, or answer any questions. Please, stay out of the way and let them do their jobs. The ambulance crew are paramedics and EMTs. They will assist the fire department with patient care, then load the individual into the ambulance for transport to the hospital. The ambulance crew may ask you, the witness, if you know the history of illnesses or the injuries of the victim. When you are asked questions, please give all requested information regardless of how unimportant you might think it is. Any information can help in an emergency situation. Law enforcement may show up with emergency lights and sirens. Please try to stay at the scene and assist in any way needed. The officers are at the accident to help everyone involved. Their duties include traffic direction and keeping bystanders back and out of the way of the emergency situation for the safety of everyone at the scene.
Awesome. You've done an amazing job. You called 911 for help. You remained calm during the call. You assisted dispatch with assessing the emergency situation. You rendered care. You listened and responded great under tremendous pressure. You stayed out of the way. Whether it's you or someone else who is being transported to the hospital, it's important to know that your injuries can determine the hospital in which you could be transported to. Know that you will be transported regardless of your ability to pay. Please, this is extremely important, regardless if you know the injured person or not. Do not follow any emergency vehicles to the hospital. They are trained emergency drivers and will be driving by the codes and laws of emergency transport. So please, if you're going to the hospital, take your time. Follow the traffic laws. You will get there. Just get there safe. You don't want to be the patient of another emergency situation. This video is packed with valuable information to better prepare you to handle an emergency situation. So let's do a quick recap. You should only call 911 in case of a true medical emergency. Stay on the phone with the 911 dispatcher until told to hang up. Stay calm, don't panic, listen, and speak clearly with as much detail as possible. Wait and meet the EMS responders at the scene of the injury or illness. Provide information including medical history of the patient if you have obtained it. If transported, there are a number of hospitals you could go to, depending on injury or illness.
The EMS is coordinated by a county EMS duty chief who is available around the clock to assist in the management of complex events, unique situations, and to address concerns from those served by the 911 system. Remember, we are always here to help you.
Okay. So the some of the things to remember with this is remember how she says to stay calm. That is very important. That doesn't mean you aren't going to be scared. Okay, you could tell she was scared, and you can't keep from being scared. You just don't want to panic. And we talked about that in the class I was today. What is panic? Can someone tell me what is the difference? What does it mean when someone's panicking compared to someone who's just scared? We had Ishika. Did I say that right?
Ishika.
Ishika. So what is panicking mean, Ishika?
Panic means like that you're just like that your bodies and your hands are moving faster and faster, and your thoughts are like going really fast. You're shaking, your voice like you can't even talk. And scared is just you're just like worried and just afraid that nothing bad's going to happen to them.
Right. And so you can control panicking. Some people say they can't, but that's why she said take a breath. Being afraid, that just happens. I mean, you can't help, that's scary, and especially in an emergency, whether it's somebody having a seizure, whether somebody's in an accident, maybe somebody's choking, or somebody's not breathing. You're going to be scared, but you need to not freak out. That's another way that we kind of talked about it today is remain calm. That way you can kind of talk through it. Remember that when you call 911, you're not calling a fire department, you're not calling a police officer, you're calling a dispatch. And that's either a man or a woman who are going to be talking to you. They will be the ones that will call the emergency, the first responders, okay? And that's why they have to ask you all those questions. The one thing she also did remember, you don't hang up. Hold on to that line until she says you can hang up. All right, so those are just some important things to remember. Does anybody have any questions or any comments on anything?
And just 911, like that's only like a medical emergency, correct?
Correct. Yes, they are medical emergencies. And we're going to go through a couple of scenarios in the Kahoot today. And I mean, I'm glad you bring that up because there are, when I was doing
some
research.
of them like overlap?
I'm sorry. Oh, yes.
Sorry.
And sometimes there will be emergencies, and 911 can help you. If you think it's a real emergency and somebody is hurt or somebody might be in danger, then those are reasons to call 911. It's not all just medical. Sometimes it might be that somebody's breaking into somebody's house or that someone's breaking into your house. Those are reasons to call 911 when you are in danger. And then at that point, the dispatcher will help you with what to do in that emergency. That's exactly what it's for. So there are some really other reasons, and we'll talk about them in the Kahoot, but true story. I had a student that called 911 because she got fired from her job, and she called 911. That's not a reason to call 911. Okay, if you're having a fight with your brother, that's not a reason to call 911.
No.
If your electricity goes out, you don't call 911 for that. All the police departments have a number that you can call, a non-emergency number, and then they can help you with things like that.
Looking back, thinking that we had left you alone at one time was a completely legitimate thing to call 911 about.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that you forgot I was upstairs.
Oh, wait.
So, okay. Yeah. And I mean, they'll help you through that. And we'll go through there are some silly scenarios. We think they're silly, but when we go through them, this was done because actual people have done that, have called because, there's just something they think they need help with. Somebody didn't mail something was supposed to be in the mail and it didn't come. Those are not emergencies, and you don't want to tie up a 911 line for that. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and go to these next two that talk about 988, and it talks about mental health, and those are things that have to do with how you feel mentally, as far as if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling very sad. It could also be people who might be addicted to drugs. And it can also be somebody who is so upset that they can end up threatening to hurt themselves. And so what they did is they created this number that's what this is about. So I'm going to go ahead and start this next video.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 crisis support for you or someone you know. Whether it's thoughts of suicide, a mental health crisis, or a substance use crisis, 988 is here to help. There is hope. The Lifeline works. Talk with us. Call or text 988 or reach out to chat at 988lifeline.org. A message from the Missouri Department of Mental Health.
And sorry, I'm using Missouri a lot just because they seem to have the clearest, most concise videos. All I can figure is they had a teacher do it. But that in a nutshell. And then here is another one that they talk a little bit more about it. It's very short, but.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health, suicide, or substance use crisis, call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, trained crisis specialists will listen to your concerns, provide support, and get you the help you need. The Lifeline works. You are not alone.
So they created this 988 because we do have a lot of mental health crises going on right now. There's a lot of things where people feel very upset. They get themselves, they might become very depressed, very angry, very alone, and they just don't know what to do. And this was the answer to bringing professionals that are on the other end of the line that can talk to these people. There are suicide hotlines, but this is actually a faster number to call, easier to remember. And that's another reason they did that. So should you know somebody who might be in some type of a situation where they're feeling very sad, you feel they might hurt themselves, even somebody who might have done some type of substance abuse with drugs or alcohol, and you're very concerned, you can call here and then they will help you with that process. So, and like I said, it's a pretty new line. So and I looked in Ohio. Ohio is, they didn't have a lot of informational things, but we do have a line here in Ohio. 988 is in Ohio. So I'm going to go ahead then, and let me see if I can get to the Kahoot. I'm going to finish this. If you have Kahoot.it, all you have to do is go to Kahoot.it and then put in this game pin. And there it is. Don't put a space. Just put 4570993. If you have a phone, you can also do the QR code as well.
Yeah, you can pull it up on your phone or computer. I just put in their phone, but you can pull it up on your computer as well.
Are you playing, Patty?
Yeah, hold on a second. You said the last four or the whole pin?
The whole thing, 4570993. Just don't put a space there. I don't know why they do that. And sometimes you put a space, it's not going to work. It's just 4570993.
Oh, I have to put a nickname in. 1 second. Okay.
Michelle, are you playing? Oh, Mark is playing. Good. If anybody is having trouble, let us know. Unmute yourself and tell us, and we'll.
There's Tina.
This is not recognizing. I'm trying to enter the game pin and it's 4570993.
Yes.
It said it won't recognize the pin.
Okay, do you have a QR code?
I need to get my phone. Do you want me to scan this?
You can try that too, or go back out of Kahoot.it and go back into Kahoot.it and see if that helps. Do you have the Kahoot? Are you doing it on your computer?
Here, let me try again. Let me try logging out of Kahoot and logging back in.
Okay. And do Kahoot.it. This one.
It's Kahoot.it, right? Kahoot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, there's
if you
Sean.
Google it too. And Laura. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me try again.
Okay, we'll wait.
There we go.
Did you get in?
Yeah.
Yep, there she is.
Okay. Did everybody get in then?
I think, is that everybody? I think Kristen's on phone, so I'm not sure she will be able to join.
Okay.
So I think that should be everybody.
Okay, so here we go.
All right.
Should you call 911 when a boy is choking? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. When an emergency blanks, you should call 911. When it happened, when it happens, when it's happening, or is happen. Which one makes sense? It's a little language arts thing. When an emergency happens, happening, or is happened. Yes. Oh my goodness. The class I did it in today, everybody knew that. So who's the fast one here? Ooh, okay, we've got some fast ones. Now remember, make sure you listen to everything because sometimes they're all of the above as well. What information will you need to give the 911 operator? The color of your eyes, your weight, or your address? Yes, your address. It's usually the first thing they will ask is your location. Okay. Someone is apparently choking and there's nobody to help. Should you call 911 emergency? All right. Yes, of course. And in that case, if there is somebody there and you've been trained to try to do the Heimlich maneuver, remember, one of the things you do is you look at somebody, you make eye contact and say, call 911. So if you are doing something to help the person, then make eye contact with somebody else and say, call 911. Okay. So next. When is it a good time to call 911? If someone has a headache, if someone has a bloody nose, if someone is sick to his stomach, or if someone appears to have a broken arm. Okay, if someone appears to have a broken arm. A headache, with that one, remember it's an extremely bad headache where they're disoriented. And a bloody nose, usually you can stop those. And so usually this is the reason. I guess if it would continue to gush out then and not stop, then that might be a reason. But for sure it's the broken arm. Okay, Tina's holding on to it. What other information would you give to the person who answered the 911 call? Who answers it? The color of the injured person's eyes, the nature of the injury, or the time the person last went shopping? Yes, the nature of the injury. Excellent. Everybody got that one. Ooh, Sean and Laura are on fire. You should try to put out a fire by yourself before you call 911. True or false? Yes, false. You should call 911, okay? And unless it's something small and you've been trained to use a fire extinguisher, and remember, if it is in your house and your house is on fire, you need to get out of your house. Don't look for your phone, get out of your house. And if you don't have your phone with you, go to a neighbor and ask them to call 911, okay? You need to clear out of the area. Make sure you're safe. That's the first thing the dispatch is going to ask you. You need to make sure you're in a safe situation. Okay, here we go. MC is moving up. When is a cut bad enough to call 911? When the blood is spurting out, when the bleeding does not stop in 10 minutes, when the person passes out, or all of the above? Yes, all of these are, and number one, when you said when blood is spurting out, that is correct, but really it is all of those, okay? So if it's any of those, you would call 911 for those. Okay. Is it okay to call 911 if my brother is annoying me? Yes or no? Absolutely not. Very good. No, don't want to tie up those lines. Sean and Laura have the highest answer streak. Is it okay to call 911 if I can't find any food at home? No, no, you don't call 911 for that. You don't call 911 because your mom made you mad. Those are not reasons to call 911. Is it okay to call 911 if I see a car accident outside my house? Yes, yes. And let me ask you this, and you can just unmute yourself. What if I'm on the freeway or I'm driving on the highway and I see a car swerve off on the side of the road, but I'm going very fast and I go past? Is that a good time to call 911 and let somebody know? Unmute yourself and tell me what you think.
Okay, sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, so let's say you're driving, you're on a road trip and you are on the freeway where you're going 65, 70 miles an hour, and you see a car on one side swerve off, maybe hit another one and have an accident. Is that a good time to call 911?
If it's on the other side of the highway?
Either side of the highway. If you witness somebody getting in some kind of an accident on the highway.
Well, I would call 911, yes.
I think that's a good idea. I've called 911 before. I've called 911 in a snowstorm when we saw a car go off the side of the road, and we were not able to stop. And when we've seen an accident or saw somebody that might be in distress, we've called 911 and just given them the location. A lot of times the dispatch will say, thank you, somebody has, some people have already called, but they do take the information down so they can send somebody. So don't assume that you already know that there's help on the way. If you're able to, and you're safe to call 911, do that. So. When calling 911, who are you calling? The police, the fire, EMS, or dispatch? Yes, you're calling dispatch. You're calling a person and then they will take care of calling the correct people. Number 13, this is multi-select. There's more than one answer, so don't forget to hit submit. When calling 911, it's okay to feel nervous or scared. Give the operator as much information as you can. Be sure to keep yourself as safe as you call. Hang up right away if you feel anxious. There's more than one answer. Yes, it's the first three. It's okay to feel nervous or scared. Give the operator as much information as you can and be sure to keep yourself safe as you call. Okay? Do not hang up. You're the person giving the information so they know what to do and that they're getting the right information. All right, we have a very close game here. Y'all are all doing great. When calling 911, the operator will ask you questions about your emergency. You tell them about your dog. The operator will ask you to call them later. The operator will ask you if you need police, fire, or ambulance. And there's only one answer. Give the best answer. Yes. They will not ask you if you need police, fire, or ambulance. They decide what you need, okay? They'll ask you questions about the emergency, and at that point, they will dispatch. And I just want y'all to know, in most cases, firemen will show up. Oh, the fire department will also show up in addition to the EMTs, because sometimes they can just get there faster and they have trained EMTs on the fire truck. So a lot of times, just because you see a fire truck and an EMS or an EMT ambulance, It doesn't mean there's a fire. It's just firemen report to a lot of things, not just fires. Number 15, when calling 911, it is important to give your location, description of the injuries, and the number of victims. Ask the operator how he or she is doing. Hang up when you've given your information. Call only when you have all the information you need. Yes, it's give the location of and description of injuries and number of victims. The thing is you don't need to worry about remembering all of that. The dispatcher will go through and ask you that information. So, and then realize that the questions they ask, they're asking for a reason. So try to be calm. There's a reason they're asking those. When calling 911, speak slowly and clearly, identify yourself, give your phone number, all of the above. All of the above. Oh, MC just pulled ahead of Tina. Got a grudge match here. Calling 911 is for when you get a little scared, for making prank calls, for wanting to ask a question about your health card, only for emergencies. Yes.
I don't know why somebody would do it for prank calls. That is stupid.
I agree. But if they put it here, trust me, there are people just want to see what's going to happen. And so you're right, it is. And you take away from other emergencies too, because if they're busy, then they're busy doing that and somebody else who really needs one. So you're right. But unfortunately, there are people that do that. After calling 911, immediately hang up the phone and administer aid. Wait for EMS to arrive. Stay on the phone and follow the instructions of the 911 operator. Start CPR. Best answer. Yes, stay on the phone and follow the instructions of the 911 operator. They'll walk you through it. They're professionals. Should you call 911 when you're arguing with a friend? No. Yes. Okay. Sounds like you guys are all pretty expert at this. Should you call 911 when a waiter serves you the wrong sandwich and chips? True story. Yes, that's no. Ooh, we have some really close ones. Should you call 911 when grandpa or grandma is having chest pains? Yes. All right. You guys were fast on that one. Should you call 911 when you find a dog with a broken leg or he's been hit by a car? Yes or no? This is a hard one. Say it split. And we had a discussion about this in the class that I was in today as well. Here's the thing. You see a dog get hit. It could cause an accident, number one, with other people looking. If you call 911 and you report that happening, they will call the proper people, okay? They will talk you through that. So if you find a dog that's got a broken leg that's been hit by a car, I feel that in that case, calling 911 is not a bad idea, and they will get the right people there. Okay, number one, you want to make sure there isn't an accident because everybody's out trying to take care of the dog and traffic's going back and forth, and let the police or let them call somebody from animal control to help as well. Okay.
I also love dogs and I care about dogs and I wanted to call 911. I mean, I just treat it as if this was my dog.
Right, right. Well, and I will tell you right now, I would. If I saw a dog that was hurt and I didn't know what to do, I would call 911. And I feel like they will walk you through that scenario. So
better to be safe than sorry.
Yes, in this case, I don't think, I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen. Plus the dog could be with it being hurt, it could end up hurting somebody because it is hurt. So I think that the right people would know what to do by calling dispatch. Should you call 911 when someone is hurt in a car accident? Yes. And back to what it's Ishika, right? Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay. Back to the previous one. Also, it's if you really think it is an emergency and it could hurt somebody or somebody's hurt, then in that case, calling it, let them make that decision when it comes to that. I mean, things like when you don't have enough, somebody made a mistake or they got mad at you, that's different than when somebody could be in danger. Should you call 911 when there is a fire in your basement? Yes, definitely. Should you call 911 when a mouse runs through your kitchen? No, you do not. Okay, do not. Same with if there was a snake in your house or something like that. There are animal control people that you can call that will come and take care of that. But definitely you'd call
unless if a snake has poisoned you, would that be like
oh, that's an emergency. Yes, 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 yes. Should you call 911 when someone's trying to break into a neighbor's house? Yes, absolutely. And let them decide what to do. Don't put yourself in danger. Ooh, it is very close. Ishika's trying to catch up. Should you call, should you call 911 when someone passes out on the floor at the store? Yes, correct. And that means seizures or anything like that. You need to call when you're in a public place like that. Let the experts take care of it.
I'm in a healthcare class also, so I know procedures. If it's after 5 minutes, then it's medical emergency.
Okay. Should you call 911 when your car does not start? Good.
Yep. Sorry for interrupting. I just remembered that. Like if it's after 5 minutes of seizures, then it's medical emergency.
Okay. But I will tell you, I was in a store once and somebody dropped down and hit their head on the floor during the seizure. So it really probably depends on the situation. If somebody is there that knows the person, that is something else you can do. But if they are by themselves and it's not somebody, because those happen in the classroom and they don't call 911. You may have been in a classroom where some of your classmates may have had one, and there's a procedure for that. But if you're in a public place, since you don't know the person, it's best to call just to be safe. Should you call 911 when you have a terrible cold? That's right. No. What would you do if you have a terrible cold?
Call the doctor.
Exactly. You go to the doctor. If it was something to where you're running a high fever, you can go to the emergency room, but you don't call 911 for something like that. Unless you're distressed breathing and but a bad cold, no. Should you call 911 when someone is following you? Yes, you should. If you feel uncomfortable and you feel someone's following you and you're in danger, call. Because you don't know, especially when you're out somewhere by yourself. Should you call 911 when there's a loud thunderstorm during the night? You may hate them, but no, you do not. What if your electricity goes out? Do you call 911?
No.
No, that's right. Call the electric company. Sorry. Ignore this one. I meant to take this out. I put it in silly with somebody else. Should you call when Cody starts dancing to Black Eyed Peas? Sorry, this was a joke for an earlier class. And yet the joke was yes, for sure, but it was.
Yeah, but I said no, so
I know. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Okay, here we go. I thought I took that one out and it didn't. What is a mental health issue? Does it make people's legs hurt? Does it affect the way someone walks? Does it affect the way someone feels, thinks, or behaves, or possibly all those answers? It affects the way someone feels, thinks, and behaves. Okay. What is a symptom of a mental health issue? Could it be a change in mood that occurs for longer than 2 weeks? Feeling down and depressed? Poor concentration? Or lack of motivation? It's all of them. All of those are symptoms, okay, that you might have a mental health issue. And it doesn't, I'm also going to tell you this, a lot of people, a mental health issue, you need to talk to somebody because it is a real thing. When you feel like you're very, very sad all the time, where you're having a hard time keeping track of things, if you're feeling very, very down and you just don't know what's going on, you need to talk to someone because it is something, it's real. Mental health it's a very real thing, which is why they created a special number for that. Okay. And there are people that you can talk to. What is a healthy response to a mental health issue? Things that are good for you. Talking with a friend or a family member, getting enough sleep, drawing, or could it be all of these things? Good, y'all. All right. The last class didn't get all of that. And it couldn't be, it may be some people exercise. Some people may decide that playing video games may help distract them. Doing things that kind of help you get through all of that. The biggest thing is not withdrawing. Okay. Last one. 988 is a number you can call to talk to someone if you or someone you know might hurt themselves. Yes, remember that, okay? But I'm also going to tell you, if you don't remember 988, then call 911 if you think someone might hurt themselves, okay? If you can't remember 988, eventually there'll be enough public service announcements. We'll start learning about that. All right, so let's see how everybody did. Third place, way to go, Ishika. And Tina, second place. And first, is that you, Michelle?
It is.
Runners up. All right, Salty and Mark. Okay, good job, y'all. So I'm going to stop sharing, Patty.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. And so unless anybody has any questions or comments, that kind of wraps up what I was going to do tonight.
Just knowing how to call an emergency hotline, and especially since they've added now the 988. And Kathy, I'm trying to think, is 988, is that going national or is it national now?
It's going national.
It's going national.
It might be national. When I was looking through, it looks like they're pushing it national, and they're getting funding to get the word out as well. I know in Ohio they have some grants and stuff that they've gotten to, continue to fund it. So
I didn't get a chance to check to see if it was actually national, but yeah, I thought that was kind of gonna be like 911, the main number hotline for across the nation. So, well, very good. Well, thank you, Kathy, for putting that together. That was great. And thank you everyone for attending. And I hope everybody has a wonderful summer that attended the teenagers, our SALT teens. And thank you for coming and have a good evening.
Okay.